Skype is now recording. You ready on your end, Blair?
Yep.
You all set, Troy?
Going.
It's all set to go.
All right.
Do we air drum at some point?
Roll the music.
Kitchen Bros, episode 11. We have Troy now. He's the one perfect.
Woo! Let it go, let it go, let it go.
All right, so we're back again. I'm Mike Kitchen.
I'm Blair Kitchen, and with us is
Troy Little.
Troy Little.
All the way out here in beautiful Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
East
This
Coaster.
is yeah. So of Chiaroscuro and Angora Napkin fame, right? And fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the first time I ever saw your work was actually at Union Station. Blair had showed up on the train, and I was there.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were inside Union Station. He's like, wow, check this out. I just traded some comic books. I remember flipping through them. I was like, hey, those are pretty neat. But then the next time was when you sent out those preview books of Angora Napkin and the Chiaroscuro, that flip book. I remember flipping through that one and being blown away. I was like, whoa! Like, was I missing something on the first one? It's like, what happened here? These are amazing. So that I actually had to go back and look through all the other ones. It's like, oh, no, well, the old ones are how I remember them. It's just like, man, you've improved.
Yeah.
Those,
5 years of working on a project is like, eventually wear on you.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you working on now?
I just finished up the follow-up Angora Napkin graphic novel, which is going to be coming out from IDW, I think this December. And that was a bit of a monster because that was the first time I've done full color. So it was like writing it, drawing it, coloring it. When is this book going to be done? But eventually it's finished, it's done, and I can officially say it's over in my world. So.
Are you getting the robot Troy Little, Mike, or are you getting the...
It's a little bit robot. I'm not sure how that's going to end up sounding on the...
It switched right away as soon as we started.
Yeah, that's
the
typical.
audio. Is that the Skype audio?
Yeah, it's just we're doing the recording off Skype audio, but I mean, it wouldn't be a Kitchen Bros podcast if there wasn't some sort of weird technical stuff going on.
Okay.
Well, when I say this stuff here, you should have the audio in that, so hopefully that'll at least be cleared up, if you can hear me at least.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. Either way, we'll make it work. We'll deal with it.
Yeah.
All right.
We can just...
We're still in the double digits. It's all good.
Yeah. Are we... Was last one 9? Was the last podcast
10.
9?
This is 11.
Last one was 10?
Yeah.
I guess
was I there? Was I invited to number 10? Gee whiz.
Voted off the podcast, Blair.
Yeah. I think you've been doing them without me. All right.
So what's going on with you then these days, Troy?
Look at that.
What's that?
This is what you guys missed at TCAF when you didn't come down.
Oh yeah, TCAF doesn't like us.
Oh yeah.
There's a Cash Brothers ban at TCAF.
We were voted off the TCAF island.
I have my camera crapped out. Hang on one second.
All right. Can Brenda hear us back there?
No. She just hears me talking like a crazy person.
Hi, Brenda. We were saying before we started that you look like a Mark Oakley drawing back there.
Which she can't hear. But anyway, this is a TCAF. This is the preview for the next book there. See, all shiny and full colored.
That's great.
Was that the actual finished? Like, so, is that finished? Is that done?
The book's done. This is just print on demand copy for TCAF.
Oh, I see.
So I ran off a piece of that and brought them along to show whoever showed up, sort of thing, which wasn't you.
Yeah, I know. That was print on demand. You did that just for the TCAF. The cover looks awesome. I love that. I saw it from your website. Looks great.
Yeah, trying to invoke the most curviest cover I could possibly invoke.
Yeah.
Now, how do you find doing color? 'Cause like for me, I don't have a color brain at all, and I know all your old stuff was black and white, but then you did all the, say, like the Angora Napkin pilot and all that stuff. Do you find color easy to do, or is it a hard thing?
Color's a pain in the butt. I mean, I don't know how many months it took me to do it, and it was just smacking my head against the table trying to get it done. But
yeah.
And did you end up doing it all yourself, or did you have help on that eventually?
I did it all myself pretty much. I had my nephew helping me out for a little bit coloring flats and stuff, but you realize he wasn't quite cut out for that line of work. So it reverted back to me after a few pages of him doing flats and getting pretty frustrated, I think, with the process.
Now, how old is he? 7? How old is he? 7 or 8? He's older than your daughters, I think.
Yeah, no, he's in his 20s.
I saw some of the coloring that your daughters did. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I saved much of those because I do all my coloring on a Cintiq there and on the Wacom tablet, and so they like coloring on in Photoshop. I just split up a layer for them, and they go to town coloring. They pretty much know how to pick colors and work layers, and
that's awesome.
They're almost 6, so yeah. Eventually that'll pay off. Hopefully
they'll be doing your flats soon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
As soon as they figure out how to get in those lines.
Actually, the last time I drove Dave Sim back to Kitchener, he had the idea. It's like, this is what you can do. You can create a studio. You have all those children, just put them to work. They can fill in blacks, and like he thought it was like the absolute master plan. And I was thinking, it's like, oh, that could really be a disaster. Like, I don't know if he's ever had children fill in the blacks on Cerebus before, but man, I can see that going bad. Annika helped out on a page on Spy Guy Minis when I was at work and came home, and there was just ink scribbles all over the thing. So that was the first salvage page I had to do.
Yeah, I've had red crayon on my comic pages before. It's not not nice. Take it out in Photoshop. But
yeah, we'll fix it in post is what we say, right? In animation?
Yeah.
Fix it in post. That's passing the buck.
Yeah.
Oh, animation. Yeah.
Well,
are you doing animation now, or are you back to doing boards, or are you still doing the comic full time? I know you were doing it for a while.
I was doing boards for a while there. It really, slows everything down. But
yeah.
Well, actually, I hope you guys are recording this on your end because my camera keeps dropping out on me. So.
All right. Yeah. Well, it should.
At least the audio, but.
Yeah. Oh, we'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Or we'll do it again.
Yeah.
We'll do one of those voiceover things. We'll do it in Japanese this time, though.
I don't really know Japanese, so it's just.
I just know Akira.
Yeah, we'll probably do some editing here because my camera's totally dropping out of me. Can we switch to Skype recording?
Yep, we can do that. It's like all that stuff's recording right now, so it'll be a seamless transition.
I'll turn this way to face you via camera this way.
There he is. Camera 2. Camera number 2. All right.
Try this.
Just like they do in TV.
Yeah, this is a real professional production we got going on here.
All right, now I got my shoulder health there.
Nice.
We like to call it raw and personal. That's what the style. It's a style we're going for at the Kitchen Bros podcast. So, you want perfect listener radio.
They do it perfect there?
No, I don't know. Better than this.
I don't listen to radio. I don't know.
No.
So what did we miss at TCAF? Any good stories out of that? Meet up with anybody or anything exciting?
TCAF, this was the best TCAF show that I've ever had. Usually, you know what it's like going to cons. They're hit or miss, right?
Yeah.
So,
lots of misses.
Lots of misses here, too. Like, that's just kind of the standard part of the course. But I came 4 books from selling out this time, and that's kind of unheard of for me.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's great.
But yeah, it was great. So, and I was busy from like minute 1 to the end of the show, and I like, getting around and buying stuff and kind of fanboying the whole show.
Yeah.
But didn't have a chance to do that at all this time. Just pretty much drawing, sketching, signing books, talking, and hardly had a chance to do anything. I bought 2 books from one guy. Like my whole plan was like to go get you read the webcomic Nedroid?
I don't know that one, no.
Nedroid, no.
It's like the funniest thing in the internet to me anyway, so I'm sure you guys can find a little link to put down there or something.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Nedroid. So I knew he was going to be there with the Topatico guys upstairs, and it was like my one goal is I got to go up there and get the 2-volume book that he's got out. Even though I've read them all online, it's just, that's the thing, sure they're free, but I bought the books and I'm still lying in bed at night reading these things and just in tears.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny.
Well, I think that's the way to go. I think if you read something online and you like it, you're going to want to buy it. So, or that's the way I am, and that's the way I think most people are. I think that brings you the whole pirating debate too, eh? Like is it good? I mean, to me, the more people reading the comics, the better, right? So
that's kind of my attitude with it,
Yeah.
Like, I think you guys were saying something like maybe it was probably paraphrasing Gaiman or someone, but it was like it's not piracy is the enemy, it's obscurity.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
If I said that was brilliant.
I'm not smart. Yeah, I'm not smart enough to come up with that. So
Well,
take
did you
credit
see,
for it, Troy.
For apparently the Avengers was the most pirated movie of all time, and then it's right now number 3 movie of all time. And the Game of Thrones TV series, that's the most pirated TV show of all time, and it broke all HBO DVD records. So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
The more people that see it, the more people are gonna like it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think you can go wrong with it. I mean, especially if it's if you have that hard copy music is a little different because music is still, it's more the packaging, but there's something very different about books being read on the computer screen and on an actual book.
But at the same time, as if you're a musician and you have an MP3 that's being circulated, and then you do a tour and come to some town, and everybody's seen it, you're going to do fine.
Well, that's the thing, the tours and stuff like that, but you just can't sit at home in your room and make money off of a recording. You got to get out there and tour and sell T-shirts, make money off of the T-shirts. Merchandise.
Actually, I don't do a lot of web comics because I find it's not the preferred medium that I want to read anything on for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, it's great. But having to just be able to pull it off the shelf, open it up, and look at it, instead of going to the website, trying to find that one comic somewhere. And just with scrolling and everything, just to me, it's a bit tiresome. So I don't bother with a whole lot of web comics, even though I'm about to start one.
Are you? Is it going to be something different than the comics you've already started? Or are you going like Angora Napkin?
I've got 2 projects kind of I got 3, 4, 5 projects on the go right now. But comic-wise, I've got one big project I want to work on, but that's kind of going to be happening in the background. It's going to take a few years. It's going to be kind of a monster. So while that's going on, I decided I'll do Angora Napkin web strip, like an adventure web strip, like Spider-Man things in the newspaper,
Okay.
That would be awesome.
I wasn't sure if they'd translate into that kind of 3-4 panel rectangular strip as a gag strip, but what am I, 23, 24 strips into it so far, and I'm actually having a lot of fun doing it.
Wow, you're already 23 or 24 strips into it. That's great.
Yeah.
How often are you thinking of putting them up?
Well, being its background, the bigger projects is kind of like I got to spend time doing that. So I was debating that a lot. How often am I going to update? Because the more you feed the rat, the more it comes back. So
yeah, exactly.
My rat only comes back every 2 years.
I think it's going to be just a once a week thing. It'll be something to kind of just keep my work coming out to the people that are interested, and fill in the gap while I'm working on this other project. So, But anyway, we'll see how it goes.
Now, what have you found is the thing that's drawn most readers in? Because you've done a whole bunch of different things. You went the self-publishing route. You had your comics through Diamond, right? At one point, and then through IDW, and then the web stuff, and the Angora Napkin pilot. So through animation, you've got all sorts of stuff going on. Is there any that you found is most successful as far as, lightning striking and getting people's attention?
Well, as far as like getting it into people's awareness, the pilot probably did the best for us because everyone who came by TCAF were like the first thing they said was, when's going to series? When's Teletoon picking it up?
Okay.
And they're all pretty mad about, what kind of when they get the story about what happened or why it didn't or, what they did choose and that sort of thing. Mm. So, so me and Nick have been talking about it a lot. Nick, the co-creator of Angora Napkin, and we decided, we had a little bit of inroads with Cartoon Network for a while, but, you know how animation goes, right? So
all too well.
With a guy he loves your project, and then you get it so far, and then he leaves the company, and somebody else comes in, and they've got their own agenda to take care of, or whatever. So it just kind of fell through the cracks, right? Probably for the best in a way too, because me and Nick were both saying like we'd like to do like just a straight to video feature or something. Mm. So that's one of the background projects we're working on too, is like kind of working at a treatment for a movie. So you know Nick, right? He's making a movie right now, Black Sunshine.
Black Sunshine, yeah.
Nick
so
Frost
when's that going to be done?
He's like at 12 or 15 minutes done already of it. So.
Has he done that much already? Holy smokes, that guy's a machine.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much been doing storyboards this whole time, hasn't he? Or has he taken breaks from
storyboards, animated shorts, animatics for other projects, stuff you'll never see probably,
Yeah.
Like he's got so much going on all the time. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. He doesn't have twins, but
yeah, I suppose there's that.
I find that helps a lot to not have twins.
Yeah. Does slow one down,
Well, but at the same time, I found it wasn't until I had kids that I actually started working. And actually, I was more productive once I started having kids rather than before when I was single or not single, but just no kids anyways, and you could waste afternoons and evenings and stuff like that. It wasn't until I had kids that I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta make something of my life, and I gotta provide for these guys somehow and leave them something.
How precious your time is. Eh?
Yeah. You have 10 minutes.
Pretty much
10 minutes. Yeah, you gotta make use of that 10 minutes.
10 minutes before school, taking the kids to school this morning, and I'm meeting my drawing table. So I got 10 minutes. So.
Yeah.
Man, with me doing the computer animation at the day job, I can't do the switch over to comics easily. Like I don't know. With you guys doing the storyboards, I don't know if you find that easier because you get drawing practice during the day, but sitting at a computer like a monkey at a keyboard and then trying to switch over to art, it's like, for me, I need solid days and big gaps to try and squeeze in 10 minutes. Like my brain doesn't even warm up in that amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, you're still working with the cross hatching, that you can't just sit down and start cross hatching with 10 minutes to go, but in Angora Napkin, I whip out the brush pen and start going at it. And Blair, I'm sure you're using your Pelican there and just
the
pages out,
Yeah, and you always find easy panels that you can kind of whip off like the standard head that you've drawn a million times, so you can kind of I got 10 minutes, I'll do one of those.
So have you given up on the Hunt 102?
Have I given up on it?
Yeah.
I started working on the second volume of Chiaroscuro like a year or two ago, and I busted it out again, did some cross-hatching, but I don't know, it was coming out really mechanical, I guess, because I've been away from it for so long.
Okay.
Every so often I kind of get the itch to use it again, but at the same time, I look at someone who's like Jeff Lemire, who's just he knocks out so many comic books, just gets a big fat brush full of ink and starts knocking them out, the pages out. And it's that kind of, the luxury of time or something to do cross-hatching with the Croakwill, right?
Yeah, Doug Tenaple's one that I always look at, where he's just like cranking pages, 4 or 5 pages a day.
Every day on Twitter. I did 4 pages today, yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm lucky to do that in a year.
Yeah, a great admiration and disgust for that man because of what he can pull off.
Yeah.
I watch his things. He says he wants to do a book a year, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. but he does it and I don't.
Yeah.
How?
He sometimes gets more than a book a year done now, the way he's going.
I know, he's fast.
With these web comics and stuff, too.
Yeah, you see that new web comic he's doing, that Newts?
I took a glance at it, but Ratfist was the last one I was looking at, and Newts is pretty new, I think, right? So
I think he's 4 pages into it or something.
Yeah.
He's doing a page a week, so. But I like how, that came about is just, it's one of those things where he didn't have time to do, and Ethan Nicole kind of convinced him, okay, do one page a week. So I thought, well, I could do 1 page a week. I can cram that in. So, and he's doing it.
Yeah, eventually he'll get it done.
Though he's got a colorist. That's one thing that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's what I decided with the new Angora, like with the newspaper strip, because it's going to be in that kind of style of a newspaper strip. I'm going to do it in black and white. Because
you are going to do it in black and white.
I think the color book really looked good. Like when I was doing it, I was just, this is awful. I hate doing it. And then when it was done, I'm like, well, I'm really glad I did it because it looks really good. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it's kind of like the breakthrough issue because it's going to be trade paperback instead of hardcover this time.
Okay.
And it's full color, so it's going to be like the most probably accessible version of any of the books that I've done so far.
Yeah.
As far as just like a quick instant visual appeal, right? So hopefully that, gloms a few more people onto it. But as far as like the weekly strip, and it's just, I don't want to spend all my time coloring it because that's like doing it a third time when I've got other things I need and want to do. So.
Yeah, that's what Bill Kimberly was saying too. Is just taking the extra steps, where you're trying to keep up a daily pace and not wanting to waste that valuable time on, the part of the art that he's least interested in, where he's worried about it going into like a Flash cartoon at some point. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And color.
I find color's one thing that I just have not wrapped my head around yet. I got to. Although maybe you have to just jump into it. Like, what was the learning curve for you for doing the color? Like, do you look back at page 1 and page, 200, whatever? And,
I'm really slow at coloring is one thing I can tell you for sure. It's not something that I just whip through and kind of agonize over it, but it's not as noticeable as, watching your art evolve over page 1 to page 400.
Yeah.
It's just, you kind of just, it's there.
Does the new book have 400 pages?
No.
Oh. You were about to blow my mind. I was like, what?
How many pages is the new book?
The whole book, from start to finish, with all the bonus pages and stuff, will be about 160 odd pages.
Okay.
So I got Nick to do a backup comic again. So.
Nice.
Oh, did you?
That's yeah, I got to keep him involved somehow, right? So I tell him, hey, I got a new book coming out, and you have to do a backup comic. So, he pulls it off.
Well, that's an actually neat thing, as like tying back to the whole creators' rights stuff and the creators, or was it the creator manifesto and all that kind of stuff that Dave Sim got into, where with co-creating characters. Like, how do you, Nick, organize all that or orchestrate, or is it just like you're free to do whatever you want and just kind of run wild with it, or?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like when I left Ottawa to move back to Young in 2003, we just, we went out for a coffee at Starbucks one day, and I was just like, I was kind of really getting into the comics. He was doing independent animation, and I was like, someday, I'd really like to do something with Angora Napkin, like in a comic book or something, because if we can't, at the time, make an animated pilot or something, or an animated web series, which was the original idea.
Yeah.
If we can't do that, then at least, I could do little backup comics in Chiaroscuro, which is how that started. And then after the first book of Chiaroscuro came out, I needed kind of a crosshatch hiatus and went into something that's no crosshatching whatsoever. It would be a fun, easy thing to do. It would take me about a year, and then I had twins and it took 3 years.
I know what that's like. I just have 20-page comics.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was pretty much, go for it, and, I guess me keeping at it, eventually the Teleteam pilot came around, and we we co-directed that and wrote it and animated on it and everything. So he got to do his animation. It's kind of like in full circle that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I make sure, when I put a book out, he's got stuff in it, and he wants a bunch of books. So I send him a bunch of books, if he wants to sell some or something, And, hey, there's my cat.
Yeah. So he pretty much lets you do what you want with. Ah!
Pretty much, I think.
You pretty much have free reign over what you do with the characters, and he has free reign over what he does with the characters, and leave it at that.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, he doesn't seem to really want to do too much with it outside of animation, So, like, the idea of doing an animated feature appealed to him. So, we started talking about that while I would do the comic stuff. And it's cool, like, is when I get something from him, I have no idea what he's going to do. And so when I got a 12-page comic for the backup of the new issue, it was like reading it for the first time, and I'm like, this is great.
Oh, 12 pages.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And what I like the best about the two of you guys doing it is that the styles are very different. Well, not very different, but they're different enough. And I love that. Like, the characters seem to work so well like that. Like, just, because you guys both have a distinct way of drawing them. So I think that's great that you get that variety. It's like the Bob Clampett and, Chuck Jones versions of
or whatever. Yeah, that's totally the idea is, instead of trying to, like, there's no model sheet for these characters, that's,
Yeah.
We just kind of go at it whatever feels right, whatever it's fun to do, right? So he's got.
And your sense of humors are, like, they align, so it works really well.
We went to college together. That's where we met at Illustration in Sheridan. And I don't know, we just kind of had the same sense of humor, same kind of attitude towards stuff. So working together on this project has just been, you do what you want, you do what you want, and it's all good. There's some cross overlap, that's great,
It's not going to turn into the McFarlane and Neil Gaiman type battle, Troy Little, Nick Cross of 2020 or something.
They have to make their first million.
Oh, right. That's right.
So.
And buy some baseballs.
That's when the money.
My first $10.
Yeah. $10.
Hey, can you tell the story of the first graphic novel in the bottle of tequila?
Oh.
Remember you telling me that story in San Diego? I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, there's the beauty between self-publishing and being a major publisher is the complete change in your income levels. So when I was self-publishing Chiaroscuro, I got to zero. I managed to have 7 issues, and eventually he came around that inadvertently through a Dave Sim blog of him reviewing Chiaroscuro, IDW approached me to publish Chiaroscuro. They wanted to take a look at it. So thank you, Dave Sim, for getting me a publisher inadvertently. And then, so Chiaroscuro came out in a hardcover, and then from there on, it's been like Angora Napkin and all that stuff. My first royalty check from IDW when it came in, and Chiaroscuro was like 5 years of my life, cross hatching, every spare moment, animation job during the day, comics at night. And I got my first check, and it was for $14.91 U.S. At the time, our Canadian dollar was worth more than that, so when they cashed the check, it was actually like $13 or something. And I was like, wow, what do you do with $13? Like, you spent 5 years of your life working on this project, you get a major publisher, and you got $13. And so in my mind, the only justifiable thing to do with this would be to buy the cheapest, awful bottle of tequila I could find and drink the hell out of it on my birthday. I couldn't afford that bottle. Like 2 bucks short. So, and I had an awful birthday. It was good for a while, but after a few lemon shots of tequila, it went south.
I love that story. To me, that just summarizes everything about indie publishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, it's got its perks and its drawbacks, right? Like anything.
Yeah.
So, hey, I didn't have to foot the bill for a hardcover edition to get printed, and put around. It's just that it didn't sell.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, right, and you guys always talk about what's his name, Seth Godin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of marketing guys now, and I realized with this new book coming out in December and a webcomic coming out in next month, I've got to find a way to market this thing. Like, if it's got all this stuff, right? It got an Eisner nomination in 2010. It got a pilot on Teletoon. There's a new book coming out in December. Like, in my mind, the only thing holding this back is it's never been really marketed properly. So,
Yeah.
So for the web strip, I'm going all out. Okay, it's going to be a nationwide event. It's going to be like hot dogs, face painting, fireworks, like barbecue, beer, everything. Okay, nationwide. And so the debut strip is going to go online July 1st.
Nice.
Yeah. So I figure everyone can then celebrate and, Angora Napkin in their own way, in their own province with fireworks and hot dogs and things.
Then you'll do another launch
I'll be
3 days later?
What's that?
Then you'll do another launch 3 days later for all the south of the border readers?
The American launch?
Yes, then we'll do the American launch down south, yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm making a nationwide event. I spent all day kind of making a nice, poster for the event there.
That's awesome. No, but it is true. Like we were talking about that with Bill a couple weeks ago, just about how much the marketing it really is. It's a whole nother job. Like it's to do it properly. And I know that's part of the reason that's holding me and Mike back as well is just getting out there and marketing it properly. And it just, when you have a decision, do I draw a cartoon or do I go out and market? It's hard to make that decision.
Yeah.
Where to put your time to do it properly. So it's.
I think we all kind of suffer from that. We want to do drawings. We don't want to do the business end, right? Like every artist. Want to do all the boring stuff. Like I spent all day doing a poster for an advertisement and no comic book work. Part of me was just like really annoyed that that's how the day rolled out, but that's trying to change my attitude a little bit. Yeah, I got to do this work, right? Like you may have a publisher here, but it's really no different than self-publishing.
Yeah,
so if you're your own work out there, you're only going to get so far, and that was kind of proven to me with 2 books under the can and nothing to show for it really. So I don't want to do 3 books and have nothing to show for it.
Right.
Yeah, I got to try and really, how do you use this internet thing to find an audience, right?
Yeah, well, that's like a big idea for me doing these podcast things is I was looking at what Joe Rogan's doing with comedy. Of course, he's got a hit series or a couple hit series and a big track record with stand-up comedy and, all the UFC stuff. I've got nothing like that. But anyways, the concept of it is just trying to basically pull all your friends together and people that and create this kind of community and kind of have everybody else prop each other up so that, you can try and, I guess, create a clan. Like I keep thinking it's like the Star Trek Borg, but in reverse, where like we're the good guys. But it's like all these little entities all kind of pulling together because if you think of independent artists, I'm sure we outnumber any sort of mainstream artists by a far margin. But the problem is, it's like we're all fragmented. We're all kind of scattered to the wind. But if people are able to actually pull together and support each other's work and, kind of create a counterculture, then who knows? Maybe it'll work. Maybe we'll sell a couple comics.
Yeah. I mean, the tough thing with that is it does, like we were saying, we don't have time to market. That takes organization as well. And it's the same thing where everyone has jobs, and then they're trying to get the comics done in the evenings and weekends, and then they're you try and find some time to market and organize things. But I think it is, if you can figure out a way to make it kind of, I don't know, like a self-sustaining. Once you plant it, it can kind of grow on its own. I don't know how
I've been fascinated with permaculture, and we should get our brother Jeff on here at some point to talk about gardening and permaculture, but that whole philosophy about creating sustainable ecosystems and basically creating environments where things grow naturally. So instead of planting plants that'll just die out every summer, you plant things that'll keep coming back year after year after year, and then building guilds that'll support, so that certain plants support other plants, and you kind of stack them on top of each other to create these giant food forests that can last thousands of years. But we need that for art.
You guys are holding out on us. There's a secret kitchen brother I don't know about.
Oh, there's a few
of them.
brothers.
There's 3 other secret kitchen brothers out there.
And a kitchen sister.
It's like Animaniacs. We're the kitchen brothers and the kitchen sister.
And we're all named Daryl. Every one of us.
Everyone.
Our Christian name is Daryl.
That's not true.
No, it's my brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl. No, I was saying too, though, you were like talking about sustaining themselves, though, is that the great thing about, like, say, if you try, you're talking about, I've done 3 books and nothing to show for it, or 2 books and nothing to show for it. But really, I mean, you have those books, right? So that's the great thing about owning your own work and characters and things like that, is that the work's never lost. Like, it's never for nothing, right? You have it there, and it's
everything's building, right?
yeah.
Like I'm severely proud of being an Eisner nominee. Like that kind of blew my mind when I got that email one day saying, if you receive this email, you have been nominated for an Eisner Award. I'm like, for my stupid little book. Like drew to entertain myself for a few years. It's actually for an Eisner.
Don't cut it short, though. That stupid little book is awesome.
Well, yeah, but you have a way of kind of looking at your own work and thinking,
yeah,
if other people dig it, that's cool. But really, I don't know who's got my sense of humor. How many people are really going to dig it? How many people are going to read it to actually get that far?
Yeah. I know for me, it's to just notice all the little mistakes in it, like in my own work.
My Eisner Award. I tried to buy the Eisner off of Jill Thompson before the award ceremony.
Oh, did you? I remember at San Diego, you were
ready to fight her for it.
Fight her for it.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. That's the goal, is to ultimately be nominated in a category with her again, so we can have some kind of a throwdown wrestling match that we can build up, online ahead of time. But no, she was behind me in line before the show, and I turned around to introduce myself and said, "Listen, you got a few of these Eisners. What say I'll buy you a drink and you just pass it off to the new guy here, right?" She was like, "Oh, wait, I want that." And, sure enough, she got it, right?
You slip her a $13 bottle of tequila? Here.
Yeah, but she was trying to convince us to rush the stage and take it from her, all the other nominees. And she's like, yeah. So she's got a good sense of humor.
That's good.
But yeah, I said next time, Gadget, next time, Thompson. Going down.
The bad news bears. That was one of the best endings in all of film, where they get to the championship game and they lose. They just, we'll get them next year. And then that was the end.
Did they get them in the sequel?
I don't know if they ever made a sequel. Did they? I didn't see it if they did. I think it was just we'll get them next year, and that was it. They built it up. Even as a kid watching that, I thought, that's cool that they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just expect the underdogs to win, right? But we know better, boys.
Yeah, life don't work like that. That's why we're underdogs.
So what's Brenda doing over there in the background? She working on comics or what?
Brenda's working on some comics, yeah.
Should send her over. Brenda, right. Come over, say hi.
Come on over.
All crippled and bent over. How are you guys doing?
Very good. What are you doing back there? I see you working away. We can't have you being productive while we're not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on a deadline for what I'm working on, so
Oh, a deadline.
I'm rushing to get it done.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. It's like midnight. It's past midnight over there. No, it is almost midnight over there, right?
Yeah. 2 minutes to midnight. Iron Maiden. I'm going Iron Maiden next month, so I'm all excited.
Oh, I saw that on the internets.
Yeah. Yeah, Brenda got last minute into TCAF this year too for the first time, so she had her debut book was out there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
now,
we
which
missed that too.
I know we're losers.
Should have come.
I know.
They don't like us.
We like you.
We're still allowed to go.
I
don't know. Maybe Mike's not.
Yeah. TCAF doesn't love me. They just want all my money.
No. Yeah, we had, unfortunately, we had lots of, for me anyway, soccer and hockey games going on that weekend.
Yeah.
They take priority over my comic drawing, which slows me down quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till
video all frozen for you guys too?
Yeah. Blair's frozen solid there.
Am I frozen?
But he's got that winning grin there,
Yeah.
so I don't mind.
Am I frozen on your end, Mike?
It looks frozen here.
I'm gonna draw a mustache on the screen there under his.
I'm moving fine on my end. Only
Fine on your computer. Oh, if that's the case, that's fine. We'll just go watch the podcast at Blair's house.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know. What do you guys want to wrap this up before the whole thing blows up on us? We'll let Brenda get back to her deadline.
I'll probably just go to bed.
Oh, we ruined her.
Oh man.
She had a good flow going, and then we brought her out of the groove.
Yeah,
That's fine.
dragged her out of her comfort zone.
Oh man.
Talking to people.
Well, Brenda, how's your book coming along?
It's kind of on hold till I get
Is it?
this done. And I had a day job for a while. I was on a subsidy at a graphic design place, but they let me go because I didn't have any graphic design skills. They're like, you do comics, we don't want you here anymore. So it's just fine for me because I'm like, the day job was just stressing me out and wasn't the right fit for me. So I'm glad to be back here and trying to gather what I've got and see where I can go from here. So
Right on.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about having comic stuff on the side is that, when the day job ends,
yeah.
you always have something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Day job just gets in the way, you know that.
Yeah, doesn't pay the
Oh, yeah.
mortgage as well, though. That's the problem.
You know. There's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we should probably end this. It looks like the video's still frozen on this end. I have no idea what we're recording. Hopefully it all works. Do you guys want to plug anything else? Plug your sites and your comics and all that one more time before we end this thing?
All right, what do we got? MeanwhileStudios.com and AngoraNapkin.com are your internet sources for everything that I seem to do.
All right, how about you, Brenda?
Be ready for hot dogs and fireworks on July 1st,
I'm
right?
just gonna swoop in here and do a plug. I feel kind
yeah.
of that.
Plug it.
Well, I'm on crazyari.com. So my most
How do you spell it, Ari?
Ari is A-R-Y. So crazy
A-R-Y.
Y, crazyari.com.
All right.
We'll put a link up there for that.
Thanks, guys.
My daughter still has your button that she got you at Halifax on her school backpack. So
Yeah.
she's wearing it proudly.
My daughter Allison was asking me who that wormy guy on my shirt was the other day. The possum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's like, who's the little worm guy?
Those possums. I'll read those to you at bedtime sometime.
Yeah, I've got the possum button and I got the spy guy button on one of my plushies on my shelf. I put it on his shirt. So
That's great.
Fun.
We're pimping you guys where we can.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We still have to do that word on the street mug. What was that, 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, I got that scanned in. I got to send that to you guys. I never did that, did I? Yeah.
You probably did. I don't know.
I'll find it and send it to you guys.
Ultra Studios runs at about a 2-year delay.
Yeah, no, I'll send it so you can tack it in at the end of the video. Our 4 comic jam from our Halifax Word on the Street thing.
Yeah. I was actually just...
Oh, we'll write that one.
Yeah, the Big Guns print.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
That was fun.
Send it to us and we'll flash it up on screen there. Mike, take care of that, Mike. Flash it up on screen.
Mike, do that.
In the future.
With a little banner.
We'll have to put the mug up on sale, too. Ha!
There you go.
This episode of the Kitchen Bros podcast is sponsored by the 2009 or 10? 2010 Word on the Street Halifax mug. Big guns.
Yeah.
Big guns. Yep.
All right. Well,
it's fun, guys.
So, thanks talking for us guys. To us guys.
Yeah. Right on. Get back to work, Brenda.
I'll get back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll do it. All right. Kitchen Brothers out.
All right.
See you guys.
See you later.
Would you okay, just as a self-publishing guy, and I was there too, you know, like when IDW came along and I jumped at it, and you've heard my success. If you've got a collection of Possum and Dark Horse comes along and says they'd put that out, what would you do?
Yeah, I'm torn. I mean, part of me is thinking if you could tie it in with coloring them somehow, then I would probably go for it. You know what I mean? Like I always picture if I did do a version that was with a publisher, it might, you know, I might want to try and get it colored as well, and then bring it out as like an actual colored version. Mm-hmm. But because just as I don't know how much it is to print color now. If it's still outrageously expensive.
Yeah, it's still stupid.
Well, here's a question for you then. Would you go back to self-publishing? Or are you happy with all the...
I think right now, like with the webcomic that I'm going to be doing, one of the reasons I'm doing it in black and white is that I think I might do self-published collections with those.
Okay.
So, like, I think I'll find a way to kind of do both. Because I do, like, enjoy that, and I find it's really... I mean, it's only a financial difference of printing, honestly, because I have to do as much or more work to market and promote it.
Yeah.
If it's from IDW or if I do it myself.
Yeah.
You should start recording this again, Mike.
Yeah, right. That was a great conversation going on here.
Yeah.
The Skype video is working now, and the sound sounds better, too.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah.
I have to say this for the next episode, then.
Yeah, no, it's...
Have you read all the stuff Mark Oakley's been talking about with all the different digital comics and print on demand and all that? I know Max Inc. Was releasing all of his stuff through Amazon, which was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. And he was happy with that, but...
Yeah, he said it cost him $2 or $3 a book. It was all black and white. And what was he selling them for, $7 or $8?
Was that for Dream Life?
For,
Blink.
Blink, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was it So It Goes, or...
Oh, my God, here.
I think I got... Never mind.
Yes, So It Goes. It's Wonka Kochalka. I don't know how you say it.
Wonka Kochalka. Did you see it? Oh, I got mine too. Da-da-da.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But he seemed really happy with publishing that stuff through Amazon. So I'm wondering if, doing a web comic and then selling stuff through Amazon, how that would work.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's one of the things we were talking about, me and Nick, about doing an animated thing is, like, you can, if you independently create a feature film or something like that, you can do print-on-demand movies now. So
Yeah.
You can either download it, digital download, or you can actually have a tangible copy that you can buy. Like, I know with the Max from Liquid Television, like, I love that show and I love that comic. And then I went on Amazon one day and they had it for sale, the complete series, but it was a, DVR print on demand.
Right.
I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Lots of stuff is a DVD movie, except it's just somebody's burning a copy for you. But I mean, you still get the show, right?
Yeah.
So, and people were
That's
reviewing
interesting.
it, saying,
quality is really good and all that, and it's got all this bonus stuff on it and whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting. So, yeah.
Were you paying attention to what Dave Sim's doing with the Cerebus Kickstarter campaign and everything?
Where would he be without his entourage of dudes that are helping
I
him
know.
out?
I know.
The computer still freaks me out.
I know. We talked to John Scrutter just the other day as well, so just talking to him about that. But it sounds pretty cool what he's doing with all the odd, like the commentary and things like that, and all the putting all the back matter, and like it sounds like he's gonna really pump it full of cool extra stuff. So
yeah, it's like the Cerebus Archives is coming to life.
Yeah.
Not just something in his basement in a big file folder organized really meticulously.
Yeah. But that's what's neat about all that kind of digital stuff is it's just gigabytes or whatever, just pile it full of stuff,
I still like paper though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you guys are closer to Dave than me. What's he doing at Glamorquist is ending? And Cerebus TV's ending? What's he got on the next back burner? Is he keeping that pretty quiet?
John Scrutter gave us an exclusive. I guess Glamorquist after 26 is going to be a webcomic.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I don't know how that's going to translate. I guess there's still going to be a print copy or what, but.
Well,
I think they were
through press, right?
What's that?
He's just printing them through comic press, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, he was doing ones through Le Bon Fon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like all the ones that show up in comic stores are from Le Bon Fon, and then there's a print-on-demand version. So there's two versions of the comic.
Okay.
Yeah. So to meet the diamond orders, it's all print, and then they're for sale through Comic Express if you want to get back issues or whatever.
All right.
But yeah, I guess John was saying that they kind of have different views on how to actually release the webcomic and things, right? Didn't Dave want to do it like a page? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like a page a week or a page
a day or whatever it is. But I think that's the way to do it rather than as long as it's free.
Scrutter was
talking about releasing a full comic one at a time. Digital.
No, I find the one comic one at a time doesn't work. I mean, I've had my comics up online, but I don't think they really get read because no one really wants to read a whole comic online. I think they just want a page. I think a page is what people can kind of digest on the computer.
More suited to print, and it was online, but
what's that?
In the Air was like that. It was continuing story, and I found it was really, really tough to get people to look at it or stay with it.
Now, were you doing a page a day as well?
No, I couldn't keep a stitch.
Like
that's probably another problem.
No.
Like
how
a
often?
page at a time.
Because I didn't know how far ahead you got before you were.
Sometimes I'd have to take a break throughout a chapter, but I'd try to get a good chunk of the chapter done and then put that up maybe 2 pages a week, and then after that it's okay, I'm gonna start the next one, so I'll take another break until the next one's ready to go. So at least the chapter's updated on a steady-ish, I should say, kind of schedule. But it's tough when it's a continuing story because the internet is pretty instant gratification kind of thing. So they want their little comic strip and they want to get on with their day and they don't want to commit really.
Yeah. So I've had that too, where there's something that I start to read online, but it's kind of well, you know what? I just want to maybe read it in print one day rather than just sit there
I get that too. So.
My brain doesn't work for reading stuff on the computer. Unless it's a gay comic like the Lethargic Lad or something.
Yeah. Like a Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing is kind of easy.
Yeah, those things you can read and you don't have to remember what happened last time when the new page comes out.
I find the book comics, the ones that work the best are the ones that are one-off. Mm-hmm. You read it and you're done. You got your 10 seconds and you're out of there.
I tried that with Ari Inspires, but everyone got too caught up in the fact of what is Ari? I don't understand. caught up in this. And in terms of free comics, one of the great moments of that was at the Dave Sim last signing when that drunk girl came in.
Yeah. I'm so glad I got that on film.
That was great. Yeah. Still laugh about that.
Yeah, we still say girls gotta eat, gotta get big. It's a favorite quote.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't even know she said it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Uh,
I'll let you guys go. I gotta get ready for a train tomorrow.
Go train.
Yep.
Gotta get up tomorrow and draw comics.
Oh, must be
I'm
nice.
jealous.
Living the life. Comic book rock star.
Yeah, right.